Hey, it's Chi. This is going to be a cosplay vlog about my Elsa costume from Frozen. I apologize if my voice sounds terrible. I'm sick. So, without further ado, I'm going to show you bits and pieces of my cosplay. So I'm going to start off with the shirts. So the material I use is it was at one point white, but I had to dye it. It is a kind of like a knit material, and I dyed it in aqua blue. It complements my bodice corset beautifully. So it took me forever to make the pattern, by the way, simply because I didn't want any seams by the shoulders, which is impossible to do. I wasted 2 months because of that. And I just decided I gotta get it done. Convention is in like 30 days. Has to be done in time. By the way, my friend is cosplaying Anna. She's like a sister to me. It's gonna be so much fun. I will be sure to post pictures, plenty of pictures on my Facebook page. So this is what it looks like so far. As you can see, I've glued the rhinestones on the top already, going all the way around. And the masking tape, because you're probably wondering what the hell that's about. So that's definitely what it's going to look like, the finished product. No, it's actually just a pattern or a rough outline of where I'm going to attach the sequins on the shoulders and on the shoulder, chest area, and the arms. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side and on the back as well. So that is my shirt. Everything is just basted for now, but I'll be sure to post pictures on my Facebook cosplay account when it is finished. And I'll be putting links for that down below afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to do the train next. I decided to go with organza simply because it has that beautiful shimmer and it's ice. So it has to be shimmery and nice and cool, and I'm going to freeze my ass off in this costume in the winter. So I decided to go with a blue-gray. I'm not sure if you can really tell. Yeah, it's like a blue-gray. It's not like, traditionally if you look in the photos of Elsa's costume, it's more like aqua blue, like the rest of the dress. But the train, in my opinion, is almost the focal point other than the bodice. And I wanted it to pop with everything else, obviously. So right now, my costume is not complete. I still have lots of work to do. This is what it looks like. And I am 5'9", so with my heels, approximately I'm almost 6 foot tall. So my train is very, very long. My train also doesn't come to a peak. One peak, I should say. It comes to multiple. So it actually looks more like a snowflake at the back rather than just the train, which is kind of nice in my opinion. By the way, all of these patterns were made by me, so patterns don't exist as far as I know. And what I did was I sewed clasps onto the top of it with a little bit of the material that I used for the bodice. And what I'm going to do instead of sewing it to the shirt, this aqua blue, really, really thin shirt, by the way, is so that if someone should step on my train, which I know for a matter of fact someone is going to do, and when they do that, they will get a slap upside the head because this material is not cheap. That way it'll just come off of the bodice, it'll unclasp, and it could just break away. Because I don't want to have my material ripping, especially if I'm, like, me and my friend who's going to be my Anna, plan on doing the big costume contest, considering the amount of time, money, and effort we spent on our costumes. So I definitely want it to be functional. So there's this train. Now for my skirt. I'll leave the bodice for last, because that's a whole other story. So my train. My skirt. I went with like a foil knit. It's a very, very light blue. It looks beautiful in my opinion. It flows beautifully and I personally love it. So I have the slit, which goes over the right leg. And inside, I decided to go with a white instead of the blue. The blue would have been really, really beautiful, don't get me wrong. But because this material, the foil knit, is really thin, it can be see-through. And if I put the blue underneath it, then the skirt would appear to be darker than what it really is. So I ended up going with white. And I'm not really sure entirely if she has like a little train on the back of her skirt in the movie, but I wanted to add it there simply because it looks beautiful from the back, from what I've seen other cosplayers do. And it just flows beautifully with the train. This is just my opinion. This is the way I'm making my costume. So this is the slit above the right leg, so it would go like this. And here's my little train. It comes to a peak in the back, so that when I walk, I should say, it'll flow behind me. Because when she walks, oh my god, I'm tired. So my bodice, whew, I had so many problems with this as I die. I went through so many ideas for the bodice. My original plan was to buy sequins and sew them on individually, and I know it would have taken a long time, but I personally love the idea of the sequins on there rather than just gluing a couple rhinestones here and there. And all of the sequins that I found, and I live in Canada, by the way, that I found in the area I lived were all like yellows and weird colors, and it's just like, come on, why do you have every color besides the blue and aqua that I need? So I had given up on that idea at the time, so I was just like, you know what, I ended up buying so many other like not sequins necessarily, but the rhinestones and the fancy ribbons and stuff like that I was gonna sew on and glue on. And then I went to the States during the summer with my family, and you know what? I found the perfect sequins. So, me being me, I started panicking, thinking like, oh my god, 3 packages, what am I going to do if I run out when I'm halfway through? So, I can't just simply go all the way back to the States for sequins, because that is really expensive, driving all the way out there. And I got my sequins at Hobby Lobby, by the way. I think for one package, they were about $3, so which is not too bad. And I didn't want to order any of my sequins online, simply because you have that problem with the monitors showing up different colors, and I didn't want to waste all of my money on something I didn't know I was going to be able to use for sure. So, without further ado, this is what my bodice looks like. It looks a lot darker on the screen than it is in person. There we go. They are little tiny sequins. Oh, you can actually see the beads. Little tiny sequins with some rhinestones glued on as well. More so frequently on the top, smaller on the top, and then getting longer and larger towards the bottom. And it goes all the way around. And this probably took me about between 25 to 40 hours to sew on, because each of these sequins, when I got them, they were actually circular, and I had to cut off the sides and then sew them on individually. So yeah, it took a while. I also have a zipper on the back, simply because I didn't want to have the lace, because that's really noticeable, and I had my grad dress from when I graduated high school with the lace, and the whole night I was just like, it's gonna fall down, it's gonna fall down, I know it's gonna fall down. So I thought it would be best to just leave it at that. So here are the clasps I was talking about that are gonna fit onto my train. And that's pretty much about it so far. I already have my wig, which I showed previously. I have my shoes, which is slow to finish, and I have the hair clip somewhat finished. So I still have a lot of work to do in 30 days. Plus school, university, I should say, work, exams, midterms, finals. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will leave a link to my Facebook down below. If you like this video, subscribe and leave a comment if you have any questions or comments or whatever. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.